Okay, so on this one, you got a fun little word problem. Railroad crew can lay 7 miles of track each day. They need to lay 196 miles of track. The length, L in miles, that is left to lay after D days is given by the following function. So you have to know exactly what your variables mean. D stands for number of days, okay, that we're working. L is not the number of miles of track that are laid. It's how many miles we have yet to go. That's why it says we have a total of 196, and our how much do we have left is that 196 reduced by 7 miles per day. 7 miles a day, that's not bad. That's definitely more than a two-man job. Okay, so how many miles will it take the crew, or I got to read this correctly. How many days will it take the crew to lay all the track? Okay, so how many days will it take them to lay all of the track? So once they have all the track done, there will be zero. Whoops. There will be 0 miles of track left to lay. So L will be 0. So if we do that, this is a much better stylus than what I was using before. I had to go hork one off of somebody else. Okay, if I add 7D to both sides and then divide by 7 and pull out my calculator so I don't blow it, I get 28 days. Man, this is way nicer. I'm never going back to those dollar store ones. Okay, part B. How many miles of track does the crew have left to lay after 18 days? So 18 is a number of days, so I plug it in for the variable representing days, or D. Oh, whoops. Okay. And I get 70 miles of track left to go. So after 18 days, they still have 70 miles to go. But hey, they've definitely got over half of it done. They got 126 miles done, so that's not bad. Now let's get back to domain. Okay, what is the domain of this guy? Well, domain and range. Sorry. The domain, that is all of the x's that are being used, like -4 and -2 and 1. Okay. And that's how we do it. Now, then the range, actually, you know what? Let me change colors here because it's fun. Okay, so the range is going to be all the y values that are being used. Okay, -2. And both of these guys use +2 for the y value. And then that would be it. That's the whole problem. Okay, on this one, the entire graph is shown. What's the domain and range? Okay, so it looks like, for the domain, again, that is going to be all the x values being used. So it's, we're using -3.5 and -1 and 3 and stuff. So basically, the easiest way to think about it is take the graph and squish it into the x-axis. And if you do that, it will cover this right here. Just take it and squish it straight into the x-axis. And that will tell you what your domain is. Okay, it'll be everything from -4 to 5. By the same token, the range, since the range is all about y values, squish this thing into the y-axis. And it's going to be everything from 2 on down to -5. And because of those open circles at the end, suggesting that we're not including the endpoints, that's why I've got those parentheses all over the place. Okay. If they were filled in circles on the graph, then I would use brackets. But that's kind of how these guys go. Okay, domain and range again. All right. So if I to find the domain, if I squish everything straight into the x-axis. Okay. And it's going to be from here to there, and from there to there. So everything from -5 to -3. You know what? I'm going to make that a solid one right there. So if that's a solid one right there, then that means, whoops, that my -5 is still open, but my -3 is filled in. So that'll give me a bracket. And then the stuff over here is going to be 2 to 5. That gives me, all right, what about the range? So now we squish everything into the y-axis because the range is all about y's, just as domain is all about x's. Okay, so we're going to get, it's going to shade in everything like that. And then everything like that. So -4 to 1 with a bracket, and then 3 to 4. And that's the way we do it now. I like it.